In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, dear friends, a common mistake we are seen making very often, and most of us, barring few wise, intelligent people. What is this common mistake, by the way, dear friends? Several times in a single day, or maybe off and on, a situation appears in front of us where we we find something which we were desirous of having, or which seems attractive, and we instantly pick it, considering it an opportunity. Don't waste time at all, and we pick it up instantly. Dear friends, look, it does happen, but later on, after the passage of some time, few days, few weeks, we come to realize that maybe there was another very important thing, option, which I could have chosen, but I failed to do that. But I failed to do that. And why? Because I didn't look upon it patiently, cool mindedly. Rather, I was a bit excited and I got whatever appeared in front of me as something which is a bit attractive, which seems beneficial, lucrative. And it becomes a kind of regret. That why did I contented upon this, while I could have chosen something which was far better than this one. Dear friends, look, why did it happen? I call it a common mistake. You know, we are seen making this mistake quite often, barring certain intelligent, wise people. Dear friends, look, I think that we need to correct ourselves. We need to correct ourselves here in a situation like that one. Every time we are shown, we conceive, or we are shown something a bit attractive, lucrative, then don't get excited at all and don't pick it up instantly. Rather, rather, even if at all, if we do have to pick the same thing which the first time appeared in front of us, which we have been offered, pay a little bit of attention. If at all, there could be even a better option. How? We need to generate, conceive, devise, I think, several options, preferably five. If at all five options are not available, then we should, you know, we should bind ourselves to generate at least three options. We should bound ourselves to generate at least three possible options, out of which I have to choose one, preferably five, or at least three options. Whatever the situation, I think that we need to practice it, even if it is not important, even if it is unimportant, for the sake of practice only, For the sake of making it a firm habit of we ourselves, we need to generate options here. Let's be a bit creative. Apparently, it might seem not so feasible, but it will become feasible once we keep practicing it, because practice obviously it does a wonderful work. It makes us skilled in something else, and here the skill needed is to become a bit creative, or to listen to the people, develop the patience, and listen to the people what they are talking about, what they're saying, what their opinion is. I think we need to generate several options, preferably five, at least three, and then choose and look what out of these three is the best option for us. If at all we have succeeded in generating the five options, then we need to think what is the best option out of those five. That is so. Isn't it really great? Yes, it is. Of course, it is. And I believe that it can work wonders, and it can make us a more intelligent and more wise person. It can make us a more intelligent and more wise person, and it can help us a lot in in choosing something better, making the wiser option, make the wise option. And that is how we also talk about some of the people who are known as the intelligent people. Does it mean that they are different from us? They are not different from us. Rather, their thinking process is different. Their selection process is slightly different. And this difference they might have, inherited it, and quite possibly they have, worked for it. They have consciously conceived the idea, they have heard it, listened it from somewhere else, read it from somewhere else, they might have conceived it, and then they practice. And if at all we do practice it, I believe that it will become possible for each one of us. It is not something which is actually the privilege of the genius only. Even a person with barely the common sense can do this as well, but simply once something good and nice appear in front of us, or even if at all something is which is not so palatable, which is not so nice and good, if at all it does appear in front of us, shouldn't take it as the only option. Rather, we must believe that there are certain other options as well. Believing is very important, and once we do believe in it, I believe that we will be able to generate those options. And once we have become habitual, once we have become used to of generating these three or five options, and then choosing and picking the best out of these, it will become really great, and we will be known as the intelligent and the wise person, making the fine and nice and decent choices, making the right choice, or making the best choice. It is not always very herculean task. It's not a rocket science at all. It is something which can be practiced and which can be done by many of the people. And maybe those people who are doing it, they're not different from that of you or me. They are like us, but simply they have worked upon it, and then how they have come to know that this is possible, this can be done. They made a conscious decision, then they worked, and then they bound themselves to practice it, even in the trivial thing, even in the things which are not so important, even in the things which are happening so frequently and so often. Why? Although there is a little risk here, and there is not something important we are going to lose at all, but for the sake of practice. And I think that if at all we have brought it up to this level, a person who is doing this up to this extent will be so adamant. This will become their nature, and this will become their discipline, this will become their primary habit. And having a habit like that one, it becomes automatic. Once we become habitual of doing this, it will become automatic. And once it does become automatic, believe me or not, we will be known as one of the intelligent and the wise people, and we will be able to make the right choices so easily. Thank you.